Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Good afternoon, everyone. Today we are learning a new chapter, chapter 5. Process freed, right? The process freed. They could already translate like this one. The process freed, right? Vīthimutta. As you all know that we have two cognitive processes, right? Two types of cognitive process. The first one is the mind process or viti. This is the active process of consciousness that arises during the course of a lifetime. When we see something, and the process of consciousness arises, not only consciousness but also mental factor as well, right? So therefore we use the process of the mind. So when we hear something, and when we think something, right? In this lifetime, so therefore we call it active process of the mind, right? It's very active. So when we see something, your mind is very active. Sometimes happy, sometimes unhappy, right? The mind trying to react actively. It's called mind process. Actually, we have learned in previous chapter, right? Mind process. Actually, mind process, which is not really difficult. It is a state of your mind. Just like that, even in psychology, it's not easy to learn, right? When you go and attend psychology courses, you will fall asleep. Lucky that you managed to come to this class. But anyway, I found that this chapter is not very boring, just like the previous one. So this chapter is very interesting, right? So this is called the process freed Vīthimutta. We will simply call it the passive process of consciousness. It is not active, it is passive. That occurs at the time of rebirth, life continuum, and death. So actually we have learned that the rebirth consciousness, life continuum consciousness, and death consciousness, so they are the same. Depending on the time and depending on function, it became different, right? They are very stable state of mind, right? They are not active because of our past karma, good and bad, right? It became our rebirth consciousness. You cannot do anything. Even the god and goddesses cannot do anything, right? So therefore, no creator in Buddhism. So people take rebirth according to their karma, right? According to their karma. So therefore, karma is very important, right? So now we are going to learn the process free chetas, right? Process free cheta. So they are passive process of mind. Actually, we have learned in previous chapter. So these are the examples. A rebirth consciousness, we will have a rebirth. So this is the beginning of a life. Then after that, you will die, right? With the death consciousness. But rebirth and death in between, there will be a lot of life continuance. So that will make you alive, right? So therefore, it is very important, life continuance. So these three types of consciousness are the same. We call it Bhavanga, right? Bhavanga Cheda, because it arises at the beginning of the life. Therefore, we call it rebirth consciousness. Sometimes we call it relinking consciousness, right? It trying to link with the one life and this life, right? Previous life and this life. And that consciousness. So these are called the free, the process free, right? The process free Cheda, or the process free function, right? They are passive, not active. And therefore we normally show with the chart. This is the beginning of the life. Then there will be a lot of light continuance. They go, stay belly. At the end we will die. So that is called death consciousness. So rebirth consciousness, light continuance, death consciousness, they are the process free. So this is the cognitive process. Then rebirth consciousness, there will be a lot of light continuance. But when you see something, when you hear something, there will be mind process, very active, right? Very active. You're trying to react actively. Then after that, there will be a lot of Bhavanga again. The mind process, Bhavanga, mind process, Bhavanga. At the end, you will die. So this is the course of a lifetime, right? It's the course of a one life. So during this life, the rebirth consciousness of ourselves and light continue and death consciousness, they are the same, right? They are the same. Suppose if we was born with the first great resultant consciousness, then our Bhavanga, our death consciousness will be the same state of mind, right? The same state of mind. Okay? So in this chapter, so there will be four contents. Four contents. Number one, 4 planes of existence. So normally we have 31 planes of existence. So those 31 will be categorized into 4, right? Into 4. And number 2, 4 motor river linking. So there will be 4 motor river linking. How you take a rebirth, right? How somebody have a rebirth. 4 motor river linking. Then 4 kinds of karma. So there are different 4 kinds of karma, right? So I think in this chapter you also have to learn different type of karma and the function of karma, right? Very interesting. And the last one is 4 advance of death. So different type of death, how individual, a living being will die, right? 4 advance of death. So these are mentioned, these are the contents of this chapter, right? This chapter. So how many chetas of how many process-free cheta? How many? 90. Still remember? Then 2 types of investigating consciousness accompanied by equanimity. 8 great resultant chetas and 9 sublime cheta, right? So these are called the process-free chetas. According to Buddhism, in other words, according to Buddhist philosophy or psychology, the external world which we experience, which we are now experiencing, what we are now seeing, right? I see, I hear, then I eat, I think, right? So this is that we call it external world, right? And the reflection of internal world. So that is the consciousness of the mind. Actually, what we see, what we hear, what we experience. So this is the reflection of internal all, right? Internal all. So actually now we have a traditionally, here I use the word traditionally, right? Traditionally, the planes of existences are mentioned as a 31. Normally we call it 31 planes of existence, right? So actually they can be counted otherwise. They can be counted otherwise. So normally we say 31 planes of existence. I very often said that it can be more than 31, it can be less than 31. It depends how you count, right? How you count. So now I give you one example. So in Abhidhamma, what we are learning is 4 woeful planes, right? 4 types of woeful planes. In the Suttas, in many of the Suttas mention only 3 types of woeful planes, right? 3 types of woeful planes. If so, there will be 30 planes of existence, not 31, right? Not 31. So actually here we have 6 heavenly realms, right? One after another. Chatumarajika, Dawadensa, like this, right? But we count hell as a one, right? But we have a different type of hell, right? Especially we have 8 great hells, right? If we count separately, it became more than 31, right? So therefore I use the word traditionally. So in the Pali Canon, the number is not mentioned, right? The number is not mentioned. But anyway, we're trying to collect all the planes of existence, right? We take it as a 31. So those 31 planes of existence can be divided into 3 categories. Number 1, sense-sphere realms, karma loka. So we have 11 sense-sphere realms. Number 2, 16 material realms, rupa loka, and 4 immaterial realms, arupa loka. So altogether 31, right? So sense-sphere realm, the realm that we experience with our senses, right? So chaitas or consciousness arises through the senses, right? Through the senses. Then 5 material realms, we have 60 type of 5 material realms. So by practicing based on 5 materials, you attain state of mind or consciousness of the mind. That is the jhana chaitas, right? Jhana chaitas. But if you practice based on immaterial things, just like a concept, right? Just like a concept, just like a consciousness, then you attain arupa jhana, immaterial jhana, right? But if you attain immaterial jhana, you were once born in material realms, right? Therefore, according to Buddhism, so external world is just a reflection of internal world, right? So it is a reflection of the mind. We are living in Singapore, but some are happy, some are not happy, right? Reflection on our mind, right? So if we are happy, depends on our mind. If we are not happy, depends on our mind. So we are owner of our own karma, right? So we can control that karma. So if we have a beautiful mind, and the world, your experience will be very beautiful, right? So even a place is not the same, right? Even in family, when you are young, things that you experience, things that you see, right, is different. When you grow old, you find a lot of fault, right? You find a lot of, how to say, a lot of mistakes of your parents, your sister and brothers, right? But if you can train your mind to have a beautiful mind, right? Then thing that you experience will be beautiful, right? It's enjoyable. So therefore, it's a reflection of our mind. Any question? No question, right? Then let's go to the origin of the world. Very big topic. Very big topic. The origin of the world, right? According to Chula Malucha Buddha and some other suttas, the Buddha is not willing to answer the questions about the origin of the world, how the universe evolved, or how the universe were put in to end, right? The Buddha is not willing to answer those questions. So Malucha Buddha, the one who was ordained at in his very early late age, and he approached to the Buddha and he asked the question. The Buddha, that there are some questions that you didn't answer. Just like, if there are any, how long is the lifespan of the world, right? Like this. So there are some questions that you didn't answer. But answer me right now. If you know, you just answer. You know it. If you do not know, just answer. You do not know. If you do not answer my questions, then I will disturb. And the Buddha said that, Malucha, when you ordain as a man, I didn't promise that I will answer the question, right? But now you are forcing me to do so. It is up to you. So just remember what I have taught. Giving the arrow simile. Arrow simile. Somebody was shot with the arrow, smear with the poison, right? Shot with the arrow. Then he need to take it out at once, right? He need to take it out that arrow at once. But instead of taking out, he is asking the questions. Who shot this arrow? Where this arrow come from? What kind of poison, right? It is a smell, right? Sorry? Smell. So he's asking a lot of questions. But while he is asking questions, he will die. Right? He will die. Just like that. So if we are asking a lot of questions, regarding with the external world, right? External world. The lifespan of the earth, the lifespan of the universe, like this, right? And the beginning of a life, or beginning of a human species, like this, right? If you are asking a lot of questions, we will die, right? And the Buddha said that, just remember what I have taught. I have taught the original suffering, and the original suffering, and the inter-suffering, and the practice that lead to the inter-suffering. Four Noble Truths. I have taught Four Noble Truths. Just remember and just practice, just follow, right? Then at the end of the discourse, he listened to the Buddha and he practiced, then he became arahant, right? So I think if there are some soda, the same thing. So therefore, we must understand that the focal point of teachings of the Buddha is to make use of present moment, or to make use of present life, to attain Nibbana. Nibbana, right? So that is the focal point of his teachings, right? So if we take the essence of teachings of the Buddha, that is Four Noble Truths, right? But if you cannot practice Four Noble Truths, of course, there are some other practices, just like dana and sila, right? Then you still have to go around samsara, right? Samsara. So this is I would say that this is the attitude of how to say the external world, right? So the Buddha just pay attention to the internal world, right? Our mind. Lobha, dosa, moha, right? We have a lobha, dosa, moha. So actually, if we can reduce lobha, dosa, moha, then we will have a lasting happiness. But if you can eradicate all the lobha, dosa, moha, that will be nibbana, right? Nibbana. It depends. It depends. But anyway, even though the Buddha is not willing, the Pali Canon and its commentaries did mention about the world and universe in some places, right? And they are very interesting. And I will explain some of them. So the explanation in the Pali Canon and the commentaries are closer to discovery of the modern science, right? Modern science, than that of any other religions of the world, right? So when we look at some of the descriptions or teachings of the universe and the external world, actually the teachings in the Pali Canon and the commentaries are closer to current modern science, right? Modern science. Then just look at some of them. But according to almost all the world religions, the world is created by God and it will be destroyed by God, right? They created and they destroyed. But in Hinduism, three types of God: the one who create, the one who maintain, and the one who destroy, right? But Christianity, only one God. There's only one God, right? He create. If he is angry, he will destroy. If you make him unhappy, right? If he is not happy, he will destroy, right? He will destroy it. So that is the difference between Buddhism. The Buddhism rejected the concept of creator and said that the world or the universe came into being by natural forces, right? We don't believe creator God. So this world or the universe is not created by any God or goddesses. So it occurs according to natural forces, right? Just like in fire, just like in the earth, air, fire, or what is it, the water, right? Water, like this. So this is the difference between Buddhism and other religions, right? If you look at religious scriptures or other religions, you will see that God created the universe, right? Earlier, the God created only this, the globe or the earth, right? And also the sun and the moon and stars, right? But he does not know the universe. Does not know the universe, right? So when we talk about the origin of the world, we need to learn Agenya Sutta, Digha Nikaya, Sutta number 27. But I think I want to encourage to read that Sutta that show the origin of the universe, or not the origin of the universe, or the origin of the not the origin. I want to say that the beginning of this planet, right? The beginning of how this planet is form, right? How this planet is evolved, right? How we became, where we come from, right? And it's very interesting. So, and that, actually, in that Sutta, two Brahmin became a monk, and many of their family members and their friends condemned, right? So those Brahmins, they come from higher class, right? But they became a monk. A monk is considered as a low class, right? So they trying to condemn them. And the Buddha talk about the original four castes, right? The original four castes. But here, actually, the main message in this sutta is not talking about the beginning of this art. It talk about the moral, right? So it doesn't depend on the caste or path. It depends on the character, right? If somebody have a good character, whether he is a king or Brahmin or a monk or any a poor people, it doesn't matter. It depends on the contact, right? Contact. So in that sutta, the Buddha talk about the beginning of this clothes, right? This clothes. Look, the Buddha said that there comes a time, Wasita is the name, when sooner or later, after a long period, this world contracts. Samvatati. Actually here, I look at two translations. Translation of Moriwash, translation of Digha Nikaya, right? He also translate the same thing. The translation of Bande Suchato, he also do the same thing. The Bhikkhuvāri use the word dissolute, how to say that? I forgot his name. And then later I will show. And then even mention here, right? Actually, what we understand is not a contract, right? Not a contract. It is about how to say the disappearance of all the elements, all the things, right? Disappearance or dissolution, right? Dissolution. Bhikkhuvāri dissolution. Actually, therefore, I like Bhikkhuvāri translation. He is very close to traditions, right? Very close to how to say the real interpretation of Pali Canon, and he trying to look at Pali Canon as well as commentary, right? So therefore, I like it. So many of the Western translators, so they added their opinion and also their view, right? But here, so they translate as a contract. I don't know whether it is a right or wrong, but it's better dissolute, right? Dissolution. But here, according to their explanation, big crash, right? Big crash and big bang, right? So according to modern science, they believe that this universe started with a tiny particle, right? And it explodes. It is called Big Bang, right? It is expanding, right? Expanding, even now expanding, right? But there is a one theory. It is called Big Crunch, right? Big Crunch. So later, the expansion will stop. It will reverse. It will, how to say, contracts, right? It will contracts. It became a tiny particle again, right? But in those times, all the living beings in the universe will die, right? Will die. So that is the theory of a modern science theory, right? I think they follow they have that idea, so therefore they translate as a contract. Anyway, it's not much contradictory with the Buddhist theory, right? Actually, here is a dissolution, right? Dissolution. It will finish. Right? It will finish. I think if you learn one soda later, and you understand, right? So here, so therefore this is not a big crunch, but here question mark, just sign. Is it a big crunch, right? So here, it's quite clear that it's not created by the God. It were not created, destroyed by the God, right? It were contracts by itself, right? For a long time, these war contracts were, how to say, the contracts, right? Contracts. So at the time of contraction, beings are mostly born in the Abhidhamma Brahma war. Here, Abhidhamma Brahma. As you all know that we have a 20 type of the Brahma war, right? But this one is Abhidhamma Brahma war is the second jhana Brahma war. So later we will learn all these one, right? Second jhana. So actually, the being living in the universe, as you all know that we believe different type of universe, many universe, all the living beings living there, right? Living there. So at the time of a contraction, being will be born in the Abhidhamma Brahma war. The Brahma, they became Brahma, right? And there they dwell mind-made, and feeding on delight. So they are not eating any food. They are happy. They have bliss and delight. So based on the mental state, here, mind-made, right? Mind-made. Mind is very powerful. So they can stay without eating anything, just like a Brahma, right? Just like a Brahma. Sorry, they are Brahma. They are Brahma. And say luminous. They don't need sun. They don't need star, right? They have a say luminosity, and moving through the air, glorious. And they stay like that for a very, very long time, right? Here, very, very long time. So we cannot calculate. For that reason, we use asincheya. Asincheya means incalculable. You cannot calculate how many years, how many billions of years. You cannot calculate, right? That long. But sooner or later, after a very long period, this world began to expand again. So that means it will evolve, it will develop again, right? So the world will come into existence again, right? So this is mentioned in the Agnya Sutta. Then I think it's good to read that Sutta, right? Whether you believe or you don't believe, it's up to you. Right? But I think that question is it a Big Bang? You know, the world is expanding, right? The world is expanding. So, right now, the scientists believe that the universe is expanding, still expanding, right? Right? Still expanding. So, at that time, sooner or later, very long time period, right? So this all began to expand again. At the time of expansion, the being from Abhidhamma Brahma war, having passed away there, are mostly reborn in this world, in this earth, right? In this earth. So at that time, they dwell mind-made, feeding on the light, say luminous, moving through the air, glorious. Here, I think they are staying, they do not eat anything. They have their own light, right? And they are moving in the air. According to this Sutta, at the time, so all are water. There's no earth. At the time, there's no sun, no stars, no light, totally dark, right? So those Brahma those beings, not the Brahman right now, we call it beings, right? So those beings come from Brahma realm. So they just like the Brahma, they do not eat, right? They sustain with their delight and happiness, and also they have their own luminosity and moving in the air, right? Moving in the air. So there are many beings. So there is no sun, no moon, no light, totally dark, right? They have their own light. So I think that if you study Aganya Sutta, you will find interesting. So as you all know that in that Sutta, after for a long time, right? As I said that this is only the water. There's no earth. So for a long time, and the earth will appear in the water, right? Actually, that earth is a very tasty. It is said that it's just like a honey. So one of the beings, a man then, he looked at the earth, a very shining, and he trying to taste it. So at the time there is no man, no women, no female, no male, right? So there is no organs for them. And so one of the beings trying to taste that earth, right? So he find it very tasty, and other beings also follow him. So then from that time onward they start to eat, right? They start to eat. Then as they eat the earth, right? The earth. So all their luminosity disappear. They cannot fly in the air. So totally dark, right? They became very afraid. Then in their mind they make a wish. They want to get a light, right? They want to see each other. Then the moon appear. The moon is Surya. Surya means become brave, right? So as the ground is very dark, they are very afraid, right, to stay. So when the sun appear, they became very brave, right? For that reason, they give the sun the name as is Surya. Surya is thing that make you brave, right? That make you brave. The sun arises in the daytime and also disappear in the nighttime. Nighttime totally dark, and also they make a wish. There will be it will be good to have a light, right? Then the moon appear according to their wishes. So therefore the moon is give the name as a chanda. Chanda is desire, right? They have a desire, they will wish, right? So like this, they try to eat tasty earth, right? So later, because of their craving and their greed, so that tasty earth disappear. Another type of earth appear, right? So that also stay tasty, just like honey, right? So as it will take very, very long time, right? So depend on their greed. So those tasty earth, right? The ground also disappear. Then the rice, one of the plant, which was it is also very tasty, right? Appear according to their karma. Then they try to eat that one as well. Then for a long time, it will take a very long time. After that plant also disappear. Then the rice, right? The rice appear. They don't need to plant, right? Then if they plant early in the morning, and the next day it will appear again. Very easy for them. They don't need to walk, right? They don't need to walk. So while they are eating the rice, right? So their body became cause and cause, right? Causa and causa. So actually, from the time they have their own luminosity, when they are moving in the air, their body is different. After eating tasty earth, right? So their body began to evolve. But after eating rice, and their body became coarser and coarser. And at the time, the traces of female and male organs appear, right? So they later on it became natural that they make a sexual activity like this, right? Then for one time, one of the beings trying to steal or trying to keep he trying to pluck a lot of rice. He think that taking the rice in the morning, it takes a lot of time, right? It is better for me to keep for tomorrow as well. Keep it for tomorrow, right? And many people also follow the same thing. So later on, because of their greed, the rice also cannot appear at once. It takes a lot of time, right? To have a rice. Then one time, some people want to start to steal, right? And they start to make divide the place, right? This is my part, this is yours, right? And some people are trying to steal, and they make a quarrel. There will be a lot of beating and harming each other, and also lying, right? So from the time onward, they make a they have a meeting, and they discuss that we should appoint one person to govern this community, their community, right? So from that time onward, the appointed person became the king, right? So this is the beginning of the government, right? So they're trying to appoint one person. So I think that if you study this Soda, you will find it the beginning of this earth, right? This planet. It's very interesting. So I think I want to encourage just to read Digha Nikaya, Soda number 27, right? 27. So the main message of this Soda is whoever, right, have a good contact is higher, right? It doesn't depend on caste system, right? Caste system. Okay. So I think that to know about the Buddhist perspective on the universe, I think you should know this one. One great eon, Mahakappa. So Kappa Soda from Anguttara Nikaya, chapter 4, Soda number 156, right? So in that Soda, so the Buddha talk about 4 types of Kappa. Kappa means it is incalculable time. Kappa means incalculable time. In other words, we can say the lifespan of this planet. Can we see the planet, this one? Globe or planet? Planet, right? We can see that this is the lifespan of our planet. 4 kinds of kappa. So the world in the process of dissolution. So as the Buddha mentioned in Aganya Sutta that so this world will dissolve or this world will disappear because of elements, natural elements, right? So this is called the war in the process of dissolution. It takes incalculable years, millions and billions of years. You cannot calculate, right? You cannot calculate. So there will be a time that this planet will disappear, right? So it takes a lot of time. So in one of the Sutta, in Satta Suriya Sutta, the Buddha said that so this world will be destroyed with the fire, because of fire. So that means if this is the process of dissolution, it will take a long time, right? So we cannot calculate how long it is. So therefore we use the asanchaya. Asanchaya is incalculable period. right? We cannot calculate how many years, right? So according to science, as we all know that the lifespan of our planet right now is 4.5 billion years, right? 4.5 billion years. We can calculate. But here, according to Buddhist literatures, we cannot calculate, right? I think modern science is very smart. They're trying to use different methods of calculation, right? A second one, the world in the state of dissolution. But this one, number one is the process of why the earth is, destroying, being destroyed, right? At that time. But here, number two, the world in the state of dissolution. So at the time, total darkness. There's nothing, right? There's nothing. So it is called, it will take for a long time, incalculable years, right? So the world in the state of dissolution. I think when we talk about the lifespan of the Brahma, we'll come back this one. Very important. The lifespan of Brahma are very, very long. For that reason, we cannot calculate how many years, how many billions of years, right? How many trillions of years. We cannot calculate with the years. For that reason, we have to use this method, right? This method. Number three, the world in the process of development or in the process of evolution. So this time, our planet is start to evolve or develop, right? Develop. So as stated in the Aganya Sutta, so earlier it is totally dark, right? Then there will be water, and after that there will be the earth, right? Like this. And number four, the world in the state of development. So actually, we are now at the time on number four, right? At the time on number four. So the world in the state of development. So actually, the world already developed water, mountain, air, right? And all the beings. So these are in the state of development or evolution. So this is a 4 periods of the lifespan of our planet, right? Lifespan of our planet. So I think that it is a very important concept in Buddhism. So the world or the universe come into existence in their own way, right? In their own way. Nobody is created that, right? Created that. Okay? So these are a lifespan of our planet, right? Lifespan of our planet. According to commentary of this Sutta, living being can thrive and live only in the world in the state of development, in the last stage, right? The last stage, the last stage. So even the last stage, in that stage, so there are 64 intervals. Kappa, 64 intervals. So now we are, actually I can't remember, it is only about 7 intervals, right? We still have a lot of intervals, right? Kassapa, in this planet we have 4, right? 4 Buddha already appear, right? Then we will already 4. We are just only 4th, right? Only 4th. So here, one interval is calculated because it takes a lot of time to calculate even one interval. We cannot calculate how long it takes because according to Chakawati Sutta, Chakawati 26, I think, Digha Nikaya Sutta number 26. According to that Sutta, so now our lifespan is decreasing gradually because of our evil actions, right? Because in the world, so we have a lot of evil actions we are committed, right? So according to that Sutta, our lifespan will decrease up to 10 years, right? Up to 10 years. So at the 10 year, there will be very big fight, right? If you think that you want to get a very powerful weapon, just extend your hand. And the weapon will be easily available, right? Then people will kill each other. So at the time, some people will escape from that massacre, right? Massacre. And they will be hiding somewhere else. So when the fighting finished, they will come out and they began to understand that, the behaving badly, doing unwholesome deed will cause them short life. Then they began to behave well. They try to refrain evil actions. So lifespan began to increase again. From 10 years, 20 years, 100 years, 200, 1,000, even incalculable. Then at the time of 80,000 lifespan, at the time of 80,000 lifespan, a Arimithya Buddha will appear, right? So that will be one interval. So starting from Asincheya, incalculable lifespan of the people, then up to 10 years. Then from 10 years to Asincheya, incalculable lifespan. So that is called one interval, right? So at the time of the beginning of this planet, the beings, the lifespan of beings are very, very long. We cannot calculate with the year. So that is called Asincheya. From Asincheya to then up to 10 years. From 10 years to Asincheya. So that pair of periods is called interval, right? Interval. So just like that, so there will be 64 intervals in one, right? In one kappa. As you all know, we have 4, right? The all in the process of dissolution, right? In the state of dissolution. The all in the process of development, and in the state of development, right? In each period, so there will be 64, right? 64. Now we are just only 4 in 4th interval. So there will be another 60, right? There will be another 60. Don't afraid, right? Don't afraid of nuclear weapon, right? Okay. So how about, now we are talking about the beginning of our planet, right? Beginning of our planet. So Buddhism believes that we have a lot of solar system. I will say that, right? A lot of solar systems. So in our planet, we have a sun, moon, right? With our like this. So there are a lot of solar systems. So there we call it universe, right? We believe that there are other living beings in the universe, right? And we even believe that there are many universes, right? Modern science, they just believe they just can prove only one universe, right? But we believe many universes, right? And count, we cannot count universes. How about the origin of our life, right? The origin of ourselves, right? The origin of ourselves. Modern science will say that we come from X, right? X. So according to Buddhism, we are descending of the Brahma, right? We are not from animal, right? According to Buddhism, the Brahma. But regarding with the original life, and the Buddha said in Anapana Sayadaw, Anapana means without discoverable beginning, right? Without discoverable beginning. The Buddha said in Anapana Sayadaw, Bhikkhus, this samsara is without discoverable beginning. If that's why it's not descent of beings, roaming and wandering or hindered by ignorance. and fed up by craving. There's no beginning of your life. So that is called samsara. We are going around samsara without beginning, right? Without beginning. So we were once born this universe, and we might go to another universe again like this, right? We're going in samsara many times because of ignorance and craving. So if you remove ignorance and craving, you can stop, right? You can stop it. Regarding with the original life, Buddhism believes that there's no beginning, right? There's no beginning. I think that if we know science, I think it's very better to compare, right? The problem is I do not know the science. Very difficult to compare, right? So anyway, I think the teachings in the Pali Canon and commentaries is very close to modern science, some of the facts, right? So our planet and this universe form according to natural forces, right? Natural forces. And the Buddha said, suppose one of the Brahmin asked the Buddha whether the Buddha can talk about the origin of a life, right? Origin of our life. And the Buddha said that no, cannot trace back. And the Buddha said that the Brahmin taught to the Buddha, can you give a simile to know better? And the Buddha gave this simile. The Brahmin, suppose the Brahmin, the grain of sand between the point where the river Ganges originates and the point where it enters the great ocean. You know, a grain of salt, grain of sins. So it is not easy to count those grain of sand. As you all know that even the sin in our hand, not easy to count, right? Now the Buddha is giving the simile. If we count the grain of sand, where the river Ganges started, where the river Ganges go into the ocean, not easy to count. There are a lot of million, billion, trillions of sand, right? Sand. Cannot count. Just like that, we cannot count how many billions of years, how many millions of years. So that means we cannot cover, right? We cannot trace back our life, our beginning. So this is I think, very important concept in Buddhism. So if we compare with the modern science, it will be very similar, right? Very similar. The Brahmin, the eon here, kappa, you know, the eon that have elapsed and gone by are even more numerous than that, right? You know, the grain of sand at the Ganges River. It is not easy to count them and say that there are so many eons, so many hundreds of eons, so many thousands of eons, many hundreds of thousands of eons, right? We cannot count the beginning of our life. For what reason? Because Brahmin, this samsara is without discoverable beginning. We cannot discover the beginning, right? It is enough to be liberated from them. Here, the main point is, actually, as we do not know where we come from, as we do not know our beginning of our life, that is enough to be liberated from life, samsara, right? Samsara. So actually, there are many suttas that talk about beginningless samsara, beginningless the original life. I think you can read that's Samyutta Nikaya, right? Samyutta Nikaya. Chapter 50, the whole 50, chapter 50, talk about this one, the original life or the original of the universe. So it will form and it will disappear. It will form again and disappear again. It go like this, right? It go like this. So we are moving one life to another. It is called samsara, right? Samsara. And here, another interesting thing in Mahaparinibbana Sutta. So at that time, there is earthquake, right? There is a great earthquake because the Buddha was sitting under the tree together with the Venerable Ananda, right? So at that time, the Buddha taught to Venerable Ananda, after 3 months, he will pass away, right? He will pass away. But at the time, there is a great earthquake. Then the Buddha talk about the reason of earthquake. Why, right? And the Buddha gives the great earth is established on water. The water on the wind. The wind on space. And when a mighty wind blows, this start at the water, and through the start up of the water, earthquakes, right? Earthquake. So this is a interesting one, because the earth established on water, water on wind, right? The wind on space. Okay. If you type in the Google Buddhist cosmologies, then you can listen a lot of videos, a lot of Dhamma talks, right? So I think it's good to listen, right? Good to listen. So Mandan Ajahn Brahmali from Australia. Do you know that? Do you know him? Ajahn Brahmali, disciple of Ajahn Brahm. He's well versed, he's knowledgeable, and he knows Pali Canon very well. So actually he talk about Buddhist cosmology, and he make some prediction. It will happen, right? Very interesting, right? So you can Google Buddhist cosmology, you will see Ajahn Brahmali. Okay, then regarding with the universe, I think Abhidhamma Sutta and Arunavati Suttas, one from Anguttara Nikaya, Samyutta Nikaya. According to some suttas, this one, right, and many other more, according to some suttas, so there are countless world system, Lokatadu, countless world system. In other words, we can call it universe or a cluster of solar system with the countless suns and countless moons, countless Mount Meru, and countless continents, and countless oceans, and countless heavenly realms and Brahma realms. And if you, it's clearly mentioned, it's not just our planet. So there are countless universe, other suns as well, right? Other suns as well. A lot of moons, a lot of mountains. So according to Buddhist cosmology, we believe that, so we have a one solar system, and the earth and sun and moon, right? This is one solar system, right? So there are many other millions and billions of solar systems, right? There are a lot of moons, thousands of moons, and countless suns and moon. Mount Sineru. Mount Sineru is, we believe, that the highest mountain on the earth, right? And some people believe there is one mountain in India, Mount Kailasa or something like this, right? It's called Mount Meru. Actually, it's the Buddhist scholar, traditional Buddhist scholar, they do not, they reject that idea, and they said that Mount Sineru, sometimes we call it Mount Meru. Mount Sineru cannot be seen. It's mythical, how to say, cannot be reached, right? we cannot go there, right? We cannot go there. Later I will show, right? I will show. So if you look at this one, a Bhikkhu Soda. This one, sorry, Arunavati Soda. So at the time of Sikhi Buddha, and Sikhi Buddha went to Brahmaram together with his disciples, and he encouraged to Sikhi Buddha encouraged his disciple called a Bhikkhu. While standing in the Brahma wall, you should make your voice heard throughout the 1,004 wall system. 1,004 wall system. In wall system, in one wall system, there is one sun, one moon, and 4 continents, and 4 great oceans, and 1 Mount Sinai, right? But here, Sikhi Buddha is talking to a Bhikkhu and taught the Dhamma, make the voice heard throughout the 1,000 wall system, right? So that all the living beings can hear, right? Then a Bhikkhu, disciple of the Sikhi Buddha, also trying to use his voice to let all the beings hear, right? In the 1,000 wall system. Then when he come back, and he asks the monks who left behind. Actually, they also hear. So when a Bhikkhu monks is giving a Dhamma talk, right? They hear, even from the human realm. So this is if we look at this one, and we understand how we see, right? How to say the universe, right? This is the Buddhist concept of universe, right? Buddhist concept of universe. Then, interestingly, so here, a Bhikkhu Sutta in Gotra Nikaya. I think I want you to encourage to read this Sutta. A Bhikkhu Sutta from Gotra Nikaya, chapter 3, Sutta number 80. And very interesting. So in that Sutta, the Buddha taught whenever Ananda is talking, asking to the Buddha. So one time the Buddha said that a Bhikkhu, a disciple of Sikhi Buddha, can preach the sermon, can make a voice heard, 1,000 wall system. And the Buddha asking, whenever Ananda asking to the Buddha, so a Bhikkhu can make a voice for 1,000 wall system. How many wall system that the Buddha can make? Actually, the Buddha, whenever Ananda is asking the Buddha said that a Bhikkhu is just a disciple of a Buddha. The power of the Buddha is not measurable, right? Cannot be measured. Then, whenever Ananda want to know again, the Buddha, I want to know how many wall system, right? Can you make heard your voice? And the Buddha second time, a Bhikkhu is just disciples of the Buddha. The Buddha can make the Buddha are more powerful, right? Then third time, the Buddha have to answer. And the Buddha said that there are 3 types of wall system, right? 3 types of wall system. So the first one is called, So the first one is called 1,000 minor world system. 1,000 minor world system is, as you all know, as I have said that in one world system, sun, moon, one Mount Sinai, and 4 great oceans, 4 great continents, right? So that is a one world system. A Bibu monk, a disciple of Sikhi Buddha, can preach the sermon and using his voice, right, to hear all the living beings in the 1,000 world system. So that is called 1,000 minor world system, right? Another one is called, second one is called 1,000 to the second power middling world system, a very long one. So it is 1,000 the size of the first one, right? So that means 1 million world system. And secondly, second one is called 1 billion, right? Forgot about the name. 1 billion, right? And the Buddha said that the Buddha can preach the sermon using a great voice that all the living beings from 1 billion 1,000 world system can hear, right? Can hear. Then Venerable Udaya at the time sitting nearby, and he is talking to Venerable Ananda. Why you are asking the power of the Buddha? If you know his power, what is the use of it? Then the Buddha taught to Venerable Udaya, don't talk to him. If he was born without eradicating craving, right? And he will be the king of a heavenly realm for 7 times. And the kings in the human realm for 7 times because of saddha or confidence in the triple gene, right? But in that sort of the Buddha said that, but Ananda will become arahant in this lifetime, right? In this lifetime. It's very interesting sutta, right? So if you look at those sutta, so you will understand Buddhist concept on the universe, right? We believe that there are million and countless world systems, right? So in their world system, there is sun, there is moon, right? They have their own great oceans, great continents, right? So this is what we believe, what Buddhist scripture said, right? So in the Pattama Kosala Sutta also, the Buddha taught the same thing. So in that Sutta, the Buddha said that he emphasized the importance of impermanence, right? So King Kosala, he is the highest in the Kasi and Kosala, 2 kingdoms, right? But he will die one day, right? He will die one day. Even the great king will die one day. So you have to, the Buddha talk about emphasize importance of nature, right? Importance of nature. So these world systems form and dissolve and reform again over a vast period for time, right? A vast period for time. So we can also use as a universe, right? Universe as, okay? How the end of the world, actually this is mentioned in Pali Canon, in Gotra Nikaya. Satta Surya Sutta. Satta means 7. Surya means sun. 7 sun, right? So in that Sutta gives information how our planet was destroyed, will be destroyed, right? Destroyed. And according to that Sutta, later there will be no rain for thousands, 100,000s of years, right? If no rain, people will die. All the living people will die, right? Then after that, another one sun will appear. There will be 2 suns, right? There will be 2 suns. So at the time, small river and small lake, right? Small river and lake. all the water will run out, right? And there will be another sand, that sand, right? That sand. Then a great river will disappear, right? Just like a Yangtze River, a Nile River, right? All the great river, water in the great river will disappear. There will be another sand, the fourth sand, right? And all the galaxies, all the islands that start the origin of the river, right? We call it, what is it? Island, right? Ice or lake, very big lake, right? Where the water comes from. So they will disappear. Then another fifth sand will come off, right? Another fifth sand will come off. So when the fifth sand coming out, then the water in the ocean will disappear. Then another sun will come out, sixth sun. Then even the great mountain, Mount Sineru, will be very hot, it's burning, right, with a lot of smoke. So at the end, seven sun will appear. So when seven sun appear, even the great mountain, even the great ocean, all the things in this universe will be disappear, right? Because the sun, seven sun, very, very hot, right? It is so hot that all the things in this earth will disappear, right? It will burn out, just like when you burn the oil, right? Even in the shrine hall, you can see the candlelight, right? It burns all the things just like that, right? There will be no anything at all. So this is the end of this planet, according to this Sutta, right? So the Buddha said that there comes a time when, after a long time, a seven sun disappears. With the appearance of seven sun, a great earth, Sineru, the king of mountains, bursts into flames and blazes up brightly and become one massive of flame. Yeah? Here, the main purpose of this Sutta is to shed light on the impermanent nature of conditioned phenomena, even the great mountains, even the great oceans, even this planet will disappear, right? I think you should be mindful that everything is impermanent, right? Actually, the main purpose. Here, the Buddha doesn't want to talk about the end of the world. He just want to point out impermanent nature, right? Actually, Ajahn Brahmali called this Sutta, right? He's very when we talk about Buddhist cosmology, is very he used very he believes himself. Okay, any question? So I think if you look at the Sutta, I think I have given the sources. If you look at the Sutta, I think you will know the Buddhist concept, right? Buddhist concept. 4 planes of existence. Actually, it is mentioned in the book. It is mentioned in the book. Number 1, the woeful plane. Number 2, the sensuous blissful plane. Number 3, the 5 material sphere plane. Number 4, the immaterial sphere planes. So earlier, normally we used to call 3 type of planes, right? Planes of existence. Sense sphere plane, 5 material sphere plane, immaterial sphere planes. But here, to get a 4, sense sphere plane is divided into 2. The woeful plane and sensuous blissful plane, right? So this is altogether 31 planes of existence, right? 31 planes of existence. Now we are going to learn the woeful plane. As you all know that we have 4 planes, right? Before we learn all 4 planes, there may be the thing that you it's hard to believe, right? Hard to believe. For that reason, I want to show this what the is stated by Keshari Dhammananda, right? In a small book called Buddhism as a Religion. Before we learn hair and before we learn other things, right? We must keep it in mind. Buddhist attitude to existences. Buddhism is unique because we can talk about this religion even without any reference to heaven or hell. I'm sure that others cannot talk about religion in this way. Very beautiful, right? Very beautiful. Even you don't believe 31 planes of existence, even you don't believe next life, even you don't believe afterlife, doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. But we still can talk about religion, right? Without reference to those heaven or hell. It's very important to take note that, right? Even you don't believe hell or even you don't believe heaven, we can talk about religion in this way. 4 noble truth, right? That's not mentioned about hell or heaven. The Noble Eightfold Path, no, right? You can talk about the Noble Eightfold Path without reference to hell or heaven. So therefore, it's very important to keep it in your mind. We can talk about without talking about heaven and hell. So actually, he said that I'm sure that others cannot talk about religion in this way, right? Without heaven, they cannot explain their religions. Okay. Microphone.
To avoid having conflicts with the other so-called religious society, as a Buddhist, I will always say that, as a religion, I say I'm a Buddhist, but I believe in the philosophy of life, or the way of life. It's not a religion. Then the thing will stop there. If you take a religion, then you'll argue things like heaven, hell, creator. So in order to avoid argument with them, you say, yes, I'm a Buddhist. My Buddhist friend of view is a philosophy of life, and also the way of life. So it's not a religion. Then the conversation will answer. Otherwise, they will keep much energy. But this is what I always tell them. Then they will ask the question that the religion is important. I say, honest, I'm a free thinker. Honestly, I want to be free to do what I want. Rather than attached to all these heaven, it doesn't matter to me. So the free thinker can come in. And otherwise, persisting, learning you embrace the religion or that, and become a king saying, hell, I'm not that one. So believe in Christ, you go to heaven. That is what we do here. So for me, having gone through Buddhist studies, and I know that it's not religion, but so as a concept, so
actually, of course, Buddhism is not a religion, if we talk about precisely, right? If we talk about it precisely, not a religion. So when you look at the definition of religion in their dictionary, a belief system in God and goddesses, right? So actually, we don't believe. We accept that there are God and goddesses. So they are the owner of their karma, right? So they cannot create our own destiny. So we are creator of our own destiny. So Buddhism, as he said that, just a way of life, right? Just a way of life. It's very simple. If we look at the Noble Eightfold Path, quite clear, right? Right view, right thought, the wisdom, right? Based on right thought or right intention, right speech, right action, and right livelihood will follow, right? If we have a sila, we will have a right effect. and right mindfulness and right concentrations. That is the concentration, right? If we have a concentration, we will have a wisdom, right? Even we have a sila, you are a very good Buddhist, right? A good Buddhist. But if you have a concentration, well, of course, advanced Buddhist. I would say that advanced Buddhist, right? Advanced Buddhist. So actually, therefore, Buddhism is very simple. For that reason, sometimes people, it is very hard to, convince people to use that simplicity. A very simple one, right? Therefore, Buddhism is suited to free thinker, just like Mr. Trên, and also atheists, right? For those who are higher educated, right? So I think for that reason, but anyway, we still have to use the word religion, right? According to Abhidhamma, it's called Samudipanya, right? Samudi. Because it is a commonly used, right? By the people. For that reason, we still have to use religion. But it is totally different, right? Totally different. So actually, the people in other religions, so if they remove the Creator God in their heart, it became nothing, right? There's nothing in their heart, right? So as a Buddhist, without Creator God, we can stand on our foot, right? I think it's very beautiful, I think. So actually, therefore, I like what the Buddha said in Dhammapada. Domehi kechan atapan. You yourself have to practice. Akhataro tathagata. The Buddhas are the one who just show the way, right? If you go this way, you will arrive certain destination. If you go that way, you will arrive certain destination. That's all. The Buddha cannot do anything, right? You yourself have to walk on that path, right? So I think it is very suited, very logical, right? But of course, as you all know that people doesn't want, people are afraid to rely on their karma. They are, so therefore they trying to seek the heavenly power, right? Sorry, a divine power. So when we say that, we don't believe the Creator God, right? But they always ask, without God, what will happen? And without soul, what will happen, right? And also the soul is very powerful for them, right? For us, there is no soul, just mind, right? Mind arises, disappear, arises, disappear. That's all. We don't believe so, because this comes from the real experience from the Buddha. And also, if you practice, if you have a very powerful concentration, you yourself know it. Pachatan vadidabha yohi. For those who know by themselves, right? You can experience soullessness, right? There's no soul. There's no any entity that exists permanently. Everything arises, disappear. Everything arises, disappear. So even the great oceans, even the great mountain, right? Within that, they will last forever. But the Buddha said that one day it will disappear. Even this earth, right? Great earth will disappear because of the fire in the Saddha Suriya Sutta. There's nothing that exists permanently. So if you understand the nature of impermanence, if you can accept it, the nature of impermanence, and you can, there is no suffering in your mind at all. Suppose you are going to die with the cancer, what will happen? If you believe the nature of impermanence, there is no suffering. You can accept it, right? So Buddhism just tell the truth. But people doesn't like the truth. People doesn't like, right? We as cannot accept it, right? Accept it. So I think that if we can accept, I once gave you an example, right? Recently, my mother died. As I'm in train as a monk, then I can accept the nature of impermanence. There's only one time I shed my tear. So when I was doing my puja on that day. But of course, when I think about my mother, then I not cry. Maybe how to say my tear drop and just for a while. But when I go even to the funeral and wake, no cry. Then I can accept the nature of impermanence, right? One day we have to die. One day my father, my mother died. But my sister cannot accept, right? Cannot accept. They cry a lot. Even one of my sisters, he couldn't eat. Then I have to tell her to eat it. We have to accept it, right? So therefore, as I can accept the nature of impermanence, I think less suffering in my heart, right? Just like that, we will die one way or another, right? Suppose if we have a cancer and you were dying within a month, what will happen? For those who understand and who believe the nature of impermanence, less suffering. Even they cannot move, right? For that reason, non-returner and arahant, they are not afraid to die because they can accept the nature of impermanence. Non-arahant, non-returner, 75%. Arahant, 100%. If you can accept 5%, if you can accept 5%, you can reduce the amount of suffering 5%, right? I think it's very important. We have to train right now. We have to read, right? If you meditate, it will make a bit different. So I hope some of you may have read that 3 young boys and 1 coach, right? Were trapped in the cave in Thailand. So they can stay for 10 days, right? They are healthy without any problem because the coach, he is a former monk. He stayed as a monk for 10 years and he trained as he meditate, right? So when they are trapped in the cave, he tells them to meditate. So in this way, they can stand, right? Hardship and ordeals in the cave. So that is the power of meditation. That is another thing, the power of meditation. What I mean is, if you have a very, very strong and very powerful concentration, and you know how the mind arises, how they disappear, how material phenomena and how matter arises, how they disappear, right? You know yourself, right? You know by yourself. But you know that every phenomena, whether mind or material form, will arise and will disappear. But I was born this life. One day I will die. If I know that within a month I will die, if I can accept the nature of impermanence, then I don't have any suffering at all. I can accept it. So therefore the Buddha trying to change internal mind, right? The mind. So if we can change our mind, we can reduce the amount of suffering, right? Okay, question.
What I would say is that you can accept it. I think that is something very, very important when we're still alive. For example, like now, a lot of people, they cannot go to the way. And what some of them do is that they start to make a will, before they die. And then when they pass away, chances are there will be a lot of problems. There's always a dispute over the will. But if you believe that there is a better, you can accept it. What you need to do is distribute the wealth now. Nothing to give. Of course, it can make a condition. This thing will go to so and so upon my death. Rather than put in your will as if you go to it. But there is always a beneficiary, you always challenge the will. It's very, very common. So what you do now is give up everything in the sense that, I just speak from my personal experience. Whatever I have, I convert all into cash. As you say, I share everything myself. Even for the share I have, I put my rent a proxy in the broker. She can sell, I cannot buy. Okay, so that's something I do. And then on the other hand, that's whatever property I have. Descent from the sun, joining the sun, water, rain, water. If I go, there's nothing but it, whatever is just to go. Instead of still being on the what you want. And then when you die, things are not properly distributed and a lot of issues. So that's how I think go. One of you, I go ahead, but I still can give as much as I have to go. And then of course the important thing is that in life in Singapore, you not have the financial resources to see you through the one last day. That is to say that that you have your financial to outlive yourself. Like everybody behind you can even now it's like so that when you go in peace, another thing, one thing I want to do is that I make, just to share with you, make a arrangement with all those undertaker, as a company. Serious, I'm serious about it.
Very serious.
Yes, because so if you find someone who will take care of you, you put away for 7 days, 5 days, it's going to be better. And my children again, they don't even think all this thing. So what I did arrangement with I go, what you do is that I go for seafaring. Instruction people will do for you. So you can tell all your descendant dependents, you're free. You don't have to move, nothing at all. See, it's not now when I move up.
Seafaring.
Finish. Right? And then of course there's things like that. Now if you look at original burial or occupation, there are issues like that. So make your mind, no temper, nothing at all. That's good.
Good. Let go everything. Trying to let go everything.
The one thing I need to do is to practice what I call it non-stop movement to get good with what I is you can still practice now to become a second teacher.
Yeah.
Now another thing I always tell my family, when
This
you go from area, the area block, the dimension is fixed. There's a Dhamma. If everything can you put inside, you can't. So whenever you just I read a case in China, one guy he put the car as a coffin. He buried the car inside. You see? In Singapore, he put the car in the
they cannot let go. I think it's very important. Letting go is very important. So for that reason, Ajahn Chah, a very famous saying, Ajahn Chah said that if you let go a little bit, you will have a little bit of happiness. If you let go a lot, you will have a lot of happiness. If you let go completely, you will have a complete happiness. That is Nibbana. Okay, thank you.
There's one modification.
Okay, continuation.
Let go everything, your happiness, your broke.
I mean, let go me not to have too much attachment.
Yes.
No, I'm not talking about you lost your belonging. Yeah, of course. So I agree. Okay, so thank you. So let's call it a day. Yo varatam pavaro Sakya Muni Bhagava Gata Kecho Aragato Bala Vidiya Samangi Dan Sukatan Saranatamu Pemi Raga Viragama Ninjama Soka Dhamma Masanga Dhamma Patikula Madura Mimamba Gunan Suipata Dhamma Mimansaranatamu Pemi Yatacha Denama Apalamahu Chatusu Sisu Purisayugesu Atacha Pogala Dhammadasate Sangami Mansaranatamu Pemi. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Okay, thank you everyone.